Hello and welcome to another update video about CRO Cronos. So in the last video we talked about CRO when it was around 7 cents, I think, and the view was it hasn't really done enough to confirm in any way that a bottom is in place here, so the view is further downside. I think it's currently doing that. I think we had here some kind of a wave 4 within this wave 5. Yeah, so you could argue that here in the wave 5 itself, which could be the last leg down here. Let's see if it actually is. Alternatively, we could say this was a 1, this was a 2, this here is actually a 3, there will be a 4 and a 5, so allows us for one more leg down. I think that's actually getting quite likely. But yeah, let's just focus on the shorter time frame here first, because in this here, this sideways range, which started on around the 13th of November, if I go now to the 1 hour chart, we actually see it in a little bit more detail. This made the impression of something corrective. Yeah, a very clear, you can actually see that, a very clear 3-wave structure here to the upside, because we had an overlap here between a possible wave 1 and a possible wave 4. But because of that overlap, it basically, you're creating a 3-wave structure, a corrective price structure, or at best a diagonal. I mean, this can still go up from here, but it's just not convincing. I mean, it was pretty much oversold, so I guess that's why you're seeing here quite a long sideways consolidation. But this is nothing where you currently see any kind of impulsive price structure evolve from. So surely on the way down here, my view would be in this 5th wave that we've had a 1-2 up here, then we came down in a 3rd wave, a long 3rd wave, here the 4th wave, possibly even as a triangle, and that we're now heading down in the 5th wave of the 5th wave. Looking or zooming out a little bit, I think in the last video we already talked about key support levels here for CRO, and we were getting quite concerned because there isn't too much left, and we can just see that those exchange tokens are just suffering. So if you zoom out and the historical areas of trade where you had most volume, that was really in the region around 6.5 cents. Basically, you could argue that's exactly where we are now. Well, it is. So that is sort of the region where if you drop below that, it's probably going to get very difficult. So we need to take the whole chart into account here, because there's a bit of a black hole down there. Obviously, key support after that, there is still some historical volume, but you're really getting into difficult areas where you then look at possible key support in the range of around 2.5 cents. So, but that is really, if you lose that, there's nothing left really. Okay, so this is getting into a difficult situation now, and it's just in line with other exchange tokens as well. Well, to be honest, with FTT, because Kucoin lost as well, but in terms of the token price, I think it's still sort of broadly in line with what other coins have lost. BNB is actually still doing quite well, so it's mainly like FTT, CRO that have been suffering. A very strong move down here, which starts to look very impulsive, to be honest, which is not a good sign, and we're still below the descending trend line. Yes, we are oversold on the daily, but in the current situation, I'd be extremely careful with indicators like the RSI that's telling you you're oversold, because it just keeps dropping as long as you are in the downtrend, as long as we are below this trend line, as long as this sentiment is so bad about these coins. I'd be extremely careful. I've raised concerns about altcoins that drop below the 88.7% FIB level before. What has CRO done? Has it dropped below the 88.7% FIB level? Well, we can take a look at that. I'm pretty sure it did. I think we talked about that in the previous video. Let me first hide the VRVP, and then we add the FIBs. And what we do, just start at 0 roughly, and yeah, we have lost. So the 88.7% FIB level was at around 12 cents. It did fight around it here around June. It did fight for it, but it lost it, and it has dropped basically 50% below that 88.7% FIB level, which, to be fair, a lot of coins do in their first major bear market. But on the other hand, this is also the area where thousands of coins died. So just always be aware of that level. I've talked about that level first, I think back in May for many coins. I think XRP, IOTA were some of the first that dropped below it, but we've had a lot of others following it. And I'm not telling you that CRO is going to die, just be aware of the risk. Just be generally aware of altcoin risk in current market conditions. We don't know which other projects will be affected, and the trend is currently still down. And I think we might actually be looking here something like 2.5 cents in the worst case if you look at the volume, because let's be honest, if we lose the current level, there isn't really much there. You just saw the, I mean, okay, you've got some substantial support down here, just looking at the sort of spikes and troughs, and here at around 5.6 cents, yeah, and below that this low, significant swing low at around, well, 2.5 cents. So I think we're talking about 5.5, and if you lose that, 2.5 cents. But that's really, if it drops below that, then, well, it's not going to end well here probably for CRO. Just be careful, okay? Keep altcoin exposure limited. That's at least what I'm doing. No financial advice, of course. But yeah, that's my update about CRO. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.